Welcome to Celebrity Liar, the game where it is up to you to figure out which member of the glitterati is full of shitterati. My name is Andrew Hill Newman, and I could not do this without the gorgeous and slightly garlicky young lady to my left.
That was a secret.
Louise Rowe, how about it, Louise Rowe?
Not that bad. I'm going to kiss you now. I'm going to kiss you now.
Oh, yay. Louise, I am tremendously excited about today's show. We have two of the most talented tongues in Tinseltown.
What the hell?
Right? You see?
Good alliteration
It
there,
is. And we have no prompter. I memorized that.
This is real.
No, it's crazy. Hank is, everybody on The Simpsons that's not named Simpson. And Kevin made his bones as an impressionist and a comedian. And they're both great actors. I'm so thrilled they're here. And I'm so thrilled you're here.
Thank you very much.
And I'm so thrilled you're here. Thanks so much for coming back to Celebrity Liar. As you know, this is a game in which you play along with us. So what you need to do is get into the chat room, which is monitored by Louise. So when you're chatting, you're talking to Louise, which is great.
Chat jockey.
And speaking of chat jockeying, why don't you get to your thing?
You promised me a whip this week as well, and you have not brought it.
I have not brought the crop.
It's rubbish.
My fault. So the game works like this.
That's my line, yeah.
Two celebrities are going to tell you the exact same story as if it happened to them. In fact, it only happened to one of them, and you have to decide who's the liar. They want you to believe them. They want you to think they're telling the truth, even if they're not. So the chat room is an integral part of this show. So if you are watching on theroomlive.com, which you should be, you'll see a bar that says chat and view larger. Click on that, and guess what you'll be able to do? I know, chat and view larger. There'll be a bigger screen. There'll also be a chat window under there. It's very easy to log into. And then when the time comes, there's a place to vote on the side as to who you think the liar is. But we can't play this game without celebrity guests, so why don't we get to the introduction portion. This gentleman is an infinitely talented actor, comedian, impressionist, and host. He's a veteran of over 50 feature films, including, but certainly not limited to, A Few Good Men, The Usual Suspects, Casino, The Whole 9 Yards, The Whole 10 Yards, and Hostage. You've loved him as D.A. Leo Cutler in Shark on TV, and as the original host of a little something called Celebrity Poker Showdown. And speaking of hosts, if you are not already a fan of Kevin Pollak's chat show, do yourself a favor, click on it, and I promise you, you will be. Here he is, Kevin Pollak.
Wait a minute.
Hi, Andrew.
How's it going?
How's that your business?
Oops. Our next guest has
Did I
more.
mention the shark, by the way? That's the one that comes to mind, the shark?
I went to IMDb.
Why would
Near
you-
the top.
Why would you want to hurt me like that? Is that the way you welcome your guest on your fabulous show?
Let's see if
Has it started?
Our next guest has more Emmys than I have shoes. He is the voice of 62% of the characters on The Simpsons. He was the star of Huff. You've also loved him on series like Friends and the groundbreaking Herman's Head.
Not a shark!
He has kicked ass in an amazingly wide range of films, including The Birdcage, Shattered Glass, Along Came Polly, The Cradle Will Rock, Dodgeball, and Night at the Museum 2. He is also the director of the multiple award-winning short film Nobody's Perfect. I could go on, but I won't. Hank Azaria. Hi, uh-oh. No, it's right. It's right.
Cuddles.
It's so right.
Yeah.
Kevin Pollak, everybody.
So tell me about Shark. Was it really?
You better Mike Matthew. I can already tell.
I only liked him as Leo Cutler on Shark. I didn't love him.
First spit take on Celebrity Liar.
Yeah!
So
That's
thrilled.
good, that's
So
good.
thrilled.
Thanks very much. One question.
Okay.
When does she drop the phony accent?
No, it's all real.
Wait for it.
No, Louise hails from Surrey.
Yeah, I like to say London, but
Yeah.
you've given me away now.
But
as
what
a
do you
posh
call
girl.
a Surreyer or a Surreyite?
I don't think we have a word.
Oh.
I could make one up.
85 obligatory Fringe on Top jokes now.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, for
Do
the
you-
musical theater.
You went to that Fringe on Top thing again. Huh?
Oh, sorry.
I think it is, by the way, rubbish that you don't have a crop.
Yeah, I want a crop or a whip. I prefer that word.
Okay, let's see if we can get some of our enormously
someone
large staff
send
to
one
run
in
out and get it.
next time?
Yeah.
You have a whip. Someone in the audience just happens to have a whip.
Fantastic.
Bring it on. Don't be shy.
But technically, you don't need me for any of this, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Not yet. But what I do need you for is to play our fantastic game. And as you both know, we're not just playing for honor.
What?
We're also playing for a shot at, I'm not kidding, $144 million.
Well.
I don't think there's another show giving away a chance at $144 million. And I'd like to thank everyone who plays the Mega Millions for not winning it so that we had a big jackpot. And of course, if you guys win, I'm sure you'll be donating a generous yet undisclosed percentage to some worthy charity. So please, Kevin, tell us who you will be playing for.
How much is it?
140.
Well, there's no chance at all of winning any of that money, but
Should you?
should you? Yeah, the Lang Foundation, actually, where Robin of the Room Live and ourselves got our pets. It's a wonderful shelter that they don't euthanize, and they do a great job of overlooking the lives of hundreds of animals year-round, and they need all the help they can get. So should I win 144 million, they can have some of it.
I'm sure you meant overseeing, not overlooking.
No, they overlook them. They don't oversee anything. They walk by them. And
Hank Azaria, who's going to benefit from your $144 million lottery ticket when it wins?
My lovely foundation that actually started, an educational foundation called Determined to Succeed.
you know, this is bullshit.
We overlook children. We ignore needy children. Inner city kids mostly. We mentor them through high school and provide them tutoring, and it's a great cause. DTS.com. www.dts.com.
Both great charities. And if you're just joining us, I would like to again urge you, if you're watching on Ustream, go on over to theroomlive.com. And if you're watching on theroomlive.com and you're on our homepage, click on the little thing that says chat and view larger, which will take you to a larger view screen and the ability to log in and chat with the lovely Louise Rowe.
Yeah,
and
someone's
pass
just
your
said,
comments and questions on
Hank
to
has a
Hank and
huge
Kevin.
bottle. Where's Kevin's hat? It's amazingly intelligent, you know.
Yeah, they're all
It's
ready.
brilliant, but let's get some questions going. Let's go.
Okay, so
There's a huge bottle. I was a little worried there for a
I
second.
reread that for a second.
Hank has a huge bottle, and Kevin what?
Kevin doesn't have a hat.
Where's Kevin's hat?
Where's Kevin's hat?
Oh, they must watch the chat show because
by the way, I think you can go to kevinpollackchatshow.com to see that.
to see the hats, to see all the hats
Yes,
you'd like.
you can. To see that.
Click on hats.
Did I mention who my guest was this Sunday?
Who is
That's
coming
not
up on
important.
Kevin
Jason
Pollak's-
Reitman. Did I
Oh, look
say
at
that out loud?
Look, I really liked his movie. I really like him. That's a good thing.
Let's get to the game.
Okay.
Can we get to the game? Good
Here's
God.
the game. We're going to select a story from the bowl of stories. We're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Kevin is going first. Pay close attention because it's going to be up to you to determine who's the liar. Kevin, you've got 2 minutes to tell us
I'm
all
kind of nervous. I'm actually nervous.
a story called I'm Jewish. The clock will begin when you begin telling us the story.
It's my first trip to New York. I'm 22, and I'm very excited to see all that is Manhattan. And one of the things on the itinerary is to do the subway, to ride the subway. You'd seen it in movies, you know, my whole life, whatever. Whole life up to 22. So I get all ready and leave the hotel, and I go to the subway, the nearest, and I'm there. And I reach, and all my money is gone. There's all the money in the wallet, everything is in the pants that I wore the night before, and now I have nothing. So it's quite a long walk, and I just panic a little bit and think, you know, I'm looking, there's not a lot of people around, and I just decide to go. And I just jump over the thing, turnstile or whatever it's called, and 2 guys start yelling at me, and they're very serious hostages. What the hell do you think you're doing? You gotta pay! Did you see that? And they're like, they're doing a bit, but it's real, and it's scaring the hell out of me. And they're really screaming, and from nowhere comes a cop, because that happens. I've since learned in my many trips back to New York, that happens a lot. No, there's never a cop. But sure enough, Officer O'Malley shows up out of nowhere to see what the hell the Jews are yelling at. And by the way, as he's walking up, I'm actually trying to reason with the Hasids, saying, "But I'm Jewish. I was bar mitzvah. You should really give me a pass here." But they were so outraged that someone wasn't going to pay whatever the hell it was back then. And so the cop makes a thing, and he writes me up. And I literally had to hire a lawyer. And I not only my first trip to New York did this thing in the subway for the first time, but I got to go to a New York courthouse my first trip to New York. Literally had to hire a lawyer in New York. I'm phoning my parents, panic, everything. But I had to go to court, and I had to pay. Ended up paying this huge, ridiculous fine, and that's pretty much the story.
That's good.
But it was my first trip, and it was awful. There you
Look,
go.
and with 2 seconds to spare, because there's the end of the 2 minutes. Very nice. Very well done. We should probably cross the same direction. Hank, I understand something very similar may have happened to you.
Yeah, in fact, that really happened to me. That is my story. I grew up in New York. It was not an odd occurrence. I took the subway almost every day to and from school, either the subway or the bus. I only lived about 2 stops away in Queens from where my school was. I was actually coming back from school at Union Turnpike, and it was crowded, which is, anyone knows, it's easier to sneak back and forth when it's crowded, not when it's empty. It was very crowded. I didn't have any money on me because I probably had blown it all in that stupid asteroids machine, too many quarters in there, after school at the candy store. And I actually didn't jump the turnstile. There are those doors you can go through that you can actually just go right through if you want to. You just have to, at least back then anyway, you're on the honor system not to do it. Went right through, and there were these two. They were 2 Hasidic men standing right there who began to scream their heads off, "He snuck! He snuck in! He snuck!" And I was so shocked, I I was frozen there for a second. And I wasn't going to argue with them. I was going to run. I mean, that's what you do. But sure enough, there was this walrusy, big fat cop right there. Never happens in New York when you actually need one, with a big red mustache. And as they're yelling, "Hey, hey, this guy, he tried to sneak! He tried to sneak!" I'm going, "I'm Jewish! I'm Jewish!" I'm pleading with them, telling them that I'm just, if that's going to have any effect. I think one of the guys went, "Well, you should be ashamed then." And the cop wrote me up a long-ass ticket. And I did have to appear in court and had to pay a big fine. I remember I had to appear in court, and a friend of the family's represented me. And I didn't wear a suit that day. I was a kid. I didn't wear a suit. He's like, "You idiot, how could you not wear a suit to court?" I'm like, "I was sneaking through the subway. What kind of big deal is this? What is the episode of L.A. Law?" Should date myself more with that reference. Anyway, that's the story.
Wow, well fit. Personally, I'm not sure who's lying and who's telling the truth, but I enjoyed both Hasid impersonations. That was really great. My first question is actually for you, Hank. How old were you when this happened?
I was definitely below 15 to 17. I don't remember exactly. 15, 16, 17. Probably more like 17, because I think I was about to go to school soon. Because I remember being in court and I was going to be leaving, and I had an adult suit, so I think I was like 17 years old.
So is this a family court or like regular court where people go?
It was downtown in New York. It was downtown, by the... What?
No, just, it's all good.
I don't know about family court. I don't think it was family court. It was like traffic violations court.
Sure. Wow, now that we're on a shot of Hank, maybe we go back to it so I can, because I think my fly's down. Really?
Is that true?
Yeah, I think it is.
Why would you not want to do that on camera?
Horrible, ridiculous moment.
That's all good.
How do you not seize that moment?
I did. I seized it. Kevin, I had a question for you.
Oh, wait, my penis is out.
My God, I have a vagina. Where else do you go with it?
Kevin,
Really?
let me ask you this. How much was the fine? Do you remember? You said it was...
I'm very aware of my nipples.
For me, it seemed like $1 million. So, but I think it was like $475. But to me, it seemed like a ridiculous sum of money. And the Hasid did yell, "You should know better." That's what he said when I was pleading with them, I'm a Jew, I'm a Jew.
Yeah, I was
And
seeing it with both
because
of
he
you. They might
said,
not
you
take
should be
that.
ashamed. Actually, what he said is, then you should know better. Like the Jews all know you can't do that.
He said you should be ashamed.
Say, Louise, any questions from the chat room?
Yeah, quite a lot of sticklers. Enjoy My Pants, which I'm loving that name, thanks. Thinks your story was too prepared and that if you said it in the present tense, it just doesn't come off as real.
If I said it in the present tense?
You did say it in the present tense.
What?
They don't like that. They've got issues with it. They want to know where you were going.
I said it in the present tense. I said I was 22 years old.
Yeah, but
when
their
it
name
happened.
is Enjoy My Pants.
Exactly. I'm laughing. Where were you heading? They want to know where you were heading when you jumped on the subway.
I was literally going to ride the subway. That's all I remember. That was the adventure that day. I'm going to ride the subway. I don't know where the hell it goes. I knew nothing about the system or even New York for that matter.
Okay. Question from Bounce Tigger. Where was the court?
Wait, who's it from? Oh, sorry.
Don't make me say
It was
it.
downtown. It was downtown in the
Way downtown fruitcake? Or?
way downtown. Okay, down by the where the World Trade Centers used to be, down where the courts are. I don't remember exactly where it was.
Okay. A lot of people wanted to know how old you guys were.
I said 22. Now
Yeah.
22 and
Given
15.
that,
I was
you've already done
17.
that.
So you had to go to
16,
court in Manhattan, not in
I
Queens.
did. I had to go to court in Manhattan.
Right, Lindy 28. Which building did Hank live in at the time? Slightly stalkerish and unnecessary question.
Which building did I live in? I lived at home where I grew up in Queens, Girard Towers.
Okay, there you go,
70-25
Lindsay.
Yellowstone Boulevard.
It's okay, it's not a stalker, it's all right. We know her. Yeah, stalkerish. Okay, that's it for the questions I want to
Okay,
say.
fantastic. Well, if you all in the chat room don't have any more questions, then it means you know who you think is lying. So please, they do not want your vote. Vote for the liar. They want you to believe them. They will get a point if they don't win this vote. So please, right now, go ahead and vote for who you think the liar is. And we'll hum a little something as you vote. No?
Jesus.
We're gonna
Are your
hum.
pants okay?
Yeah, they're better now.
Do you do this every time on the show? This moment where you're waiting for them to
This is where I count
you don't
on
have a
you
thing you can do?
Actually, the first time we did the show, I told a little joke here.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't want your guest to be involved in any way?
No, then I figured I'd get out of the way and let you be funny. I began it with
Because I
the
hear Hank does voices.
Oh, sure. I put in no requests, but you've all heard them many, many times. How are the votes pouring in?
Yeah, they're going nuts, actually. It's pretty unanimous.
Really? Let me mark down who I think is lying. And then I'll see if I agree with the room. And we'll give it a few more seconds. Okay, that's a few more seconds. Louise, please tell us.
All right, drum
Who
roll.
did they think the liar was?
A shocking 80% of you thought that Kevin was lying.
They thought that Kevin was lying. Oh, I got to
Go
say,
down.
I agree with them. I, too, thought Kevin was lying, though I do think someone from the Bay Area would want to ride the subways just for fun. And
So does that mean...
so what we're going to do now is we're going to find out who really was the liar.
So that's my question. My question is, does this mean that I really, really suck at this?
No, not yet, because you'll have a chance.
80% is
That's
a
pretty
lot.
high.
We've had, actually, no, I think that's
mean,
the highest percentage.
Whether-
we've had
So that's a yes. You
It's
do
a yes,
that.
okay, I just wanted to make sure.
so far. Let's find out. Kevin, were you indeed lying? Will the liar please stand up?
Really, you're not going to stand up?
I can't.
Because you were telling the truth, Hank, you get a point. Had you been lying and persuaded them, you would have got 2 points. But you are winning at this moment.
Cool.
If you're just joining us, hi, welcome to Celebrity Liar at theroomlive.com. If you're watching on our homepage or on Ustream, please go over to theroomlive.com, click on chat and view larger. Look at it bigger, log in. It's really easy to give yourself a name and a password. You'll be able to talk to Louise Rowe and throw your questions and comments to Kevin Pollak and Hank Azaria. Time for round 2. I'm going to select a second story.
Very exciting.
From the bowl of stories. And
second
Hank, you're
story.
going first this
I
time.
go first this time, all
You
right.
are. And you're going to get 2 minutes on the clock to tell us the tale that we've entitled Kindergarten Orientation.
Ah, yes. I was about 4 years old, because it was before kindergarten. back in Queens again. And me and my mom visited the Montessori school on, it was on right off the Grand Central Parkway, the Grand Central Parkway Service Road, right, not far, down Queens Boulevard, where I grew up. And
that's 2 minutes, sorry.
we had to go for orientation, God knows why. And the lady showing us around, the nice lady who runs the school, and I really have to make, badly. Not a duty, not a sissy, as we said back then. Okay, a real live make. And we see several bathrooms on the tour. It's a 2-story school, and there were like 4 or 5 bathrooms in the place. And I say to my mom towards the end of it, I have to make, and she says, "Well, go ahead. You're a big boy. Go ahead. You can go in one of the bathrooms." And I go and try one of the doors locked, and I try another one, his door's locked. I push, I pull, I do everything. I go downstairs to the first floor. Those bathrooms are locked, and I really, really, really have to go. And I go back to tell my mother that the bathrooms are locked. And to this day, I don't know whether they were really locked or I just couldn't operate them. But she's in there talking to the administration lady. I don't want to bother them. There's like a scary lady in the outer office. And I go down to try the bathrooms again. I can't open them, and I find a corner, and I go. I make in my pants. And I go then and find my mother and the scary lady with the white hair and in a bun and chopsticks in her head. So go on in, honey. You can go on in and talk to your mother. And she pats me on the behind as I'm going in, smushing the poo everywhere. And I'm running out of time. But we had to walk home the whole way. My mother, no.
Well, it's a sad poo story.
It's a horrible story.
And I understand something similar may have happened to you, Ken.
Actually, it's going to be quicker for me to tell because it did happen to me, and I don't have to close my eyes and remember where I lived. That's how much I hate losing. So I had to go. It was a kindergarten orientation. They take you on a tour of the playground, and this is where you're going to do this and that. And the whole time I'm just thinking, man, I got to go. And I'm 4, so I'm really, really going nuts. And I say to my mom, I really need a bathroom. Honey, just give me fine. She could not have been more wrong. And so the orientation finally wraps up, and parents are going to go into the little back room there, and the kids are supposed to play in the playground. And I'm just sweating profusely and miserable. I can't believe my mom left me to this. And she's in there, and I walk up to the lady who had no bun or chopsticks and said, my mom's back in there, and I really need to talk to her. They're in there. She's fine. Is it an emergency? Yes, it is. Can you tell me what it is? No, I can't. And because I couldn't tell her what it was, she wouldn't let me talk to my mom. So I literally went outside, and all the doors were locked, as he said. And it never occurred to me to actually, at 4 years old, to pull down my pants and go somewhere quiet and dark. I just went, and after I had made, I went back to the lady, and I just literally right past her. And sure enough, as I'm going past, she's right through there, gave me a nice patch on the tuchus, and then it was another one. And then I said to my mom, "We're going now," and she said, "I'm in tears." And so we go to the car, and the car wouldn't start. Yeah, had to walk home, maybe only 100 blocks, but as a sumo wrestler.
Oh, beautiful.
2 seconds. Nice.
Wow. I want to congratulate both of you on your great timing. But I have a couple of questions.
Why share this on your show?
No, I think it's fantastic. That's why we're here.
Can't believe that's not the first question, Andy.
So, Kevin, let me ask you, in this situation, when the parents were conferencing, and you're with other kids when you had to go?
Oh, yeah, there's nothing but kids.
So
where I was.
And that makes it worse.
Yeah, I mean, I did go off to a dark corner, but I am amazed to this day that I didn't think to pull down my pants.
To pull
in
a
the
Richard
dark corner.
Kind, as we've come to.
I did it twice.
I did it twice.
I did it twice.
Yeah.
Another story we'll hear, I'm sure, on a future episode. Hank, I wanted to ask you, when the woman patted you on the tuchus, was she aware of what was in there? Was it like that obvious, or was it just for you, the smushing?
Oh, I don't think she was aware. I didn't really stop and ask her, hey, did you get a handful of poo there? I was in danskin pants, believe it or not. Navy blue. My mother used to dress me in danskin pants. I think they were hand-me-downs from my sisters. So it was already humiliating enough, but thank God they were navy blue. And I had white and blue little saddle shoes on also, which eventually had poo
The creeping down.
covering them as we walked home.
A question for both of you. Were you accepted to this school? Did it have bad? I mean, was this like it is now where you have to get accepted to?
No, I said I've already, it's the kindergarten I ended up going to. I don't think they knew anything of the, I didn't
They
become
do
famous
now.
at the school for poo boy.
Now you do.
Yeah.
Reed Elementary School, and yes, in San Jose, California, where I was given a doctorate.
In poology.
Later.
Wow, I'm actually kind of torn. Louise, you have an inkling as to whose story this is?
No, this one's pretty good. Although they're actually giving advice, which is great, instead of questions, what else do you for?
Well, we don't make it our pants anymore, so what's the advice?
Yeah, Rocketta says that you're doing well because you're looking up to the right, which is what people do when they're really remembering, but you were looking down, and that's what people do when they're lying.
Ah, very
So
interesting.
that's
We don't
nice
know anything
advice.
about tells.
A couple of questions. Rachel wants to know, what did the lady say to you after she smushed your poo on your ass?
What did she say? She didn't know that she had smushed
She didn't say
poo
anything?
into my ass.
Okay.
She just said, right in there, sweetie.
Okay, fine. Renee wants to know what your mum did with the underpants after the deed
Really?
was
Somebody
done.
wants to know that?
It's nice. She does.
Trust me, whatever's in that person's head, much better than what actually happened, I assure you.
Okay.
She threw them away? I mean, I don't know. I was 4. I wasn't into that sort of gathering of information.
Yeah, a lot of people are quite surprised that for 4-year-olds you've got such good memories, but both of you.
I think this would kind of.
Yeah, that's
You might
something you
get
forget
etched.
right away.
It just get burned into your brain. And
DVM
other
wants
places.
to ask both of you, what was the teacher's name?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Mrs. Gala. She was an Indian lady. Mrs. Gala.
Okay.
A daughter named Rupal.
Okay,
kid you not.
interesting. All
Thank
right,
you. Poo again.
that's it for questions.
Fantastic. So go ahead and cast your votes now. Who do you think the liar is? They don't want to win this vote. They want you to believe them. So please go ahead. I got to decide who I
Yeah.
think is lying.
That's tricky.
I really kind of, first of all, enjoyed the meh and the sumo wrestling.
Yeah, someone asked you to dance as well.
Did they?
Do you want to fill the time with a bit of a boogie?
Yeah.
Not so much. not today.
I don't dance. Sorry.
This is who I think
Can't
is
sing,
lying.
can't dance.
I've decided who I think is lying. Did everybody here have an idea, or is this room kind of split too?
You'd have
Don't say it out loud, but if you think this guy's lying, raise your hands. If you think this guy's lying, raise your hands. Wow, I disagree with all of you. Interesting.
All right. Well,
All right, do we have a result of a vote?
just about. Do you want to hear?
Yeah, let's
All
hear
right.
it.
It's just changed again. Oh, Bounce Tigger said they love me. Thanks. That's my friend. 54%.
Oh, it's a
think
close one.
That Hank was lying.
54% say Hank was lying. I got to say, I said I thought Kevin was lying, but it was a coin toss. I honestly don't know. I believe it could have happened to both of you, but I thought maybe.
You believe that both of us are capable of doing that?
I do. I do.
As 4-year-olds, Hank. As 4-year-olds.
Sure.
So please let us know who really was the liar. Will the real liar please stand up?
You guys were all right.
Oh!
I shit myself when I'm 4.
I gotta say, if I have to lose, I'm pretty psyched I lost that one. Oh, damn, I didn't shit myself when I was 4. I'm heartbroken.
I believed you.
I'm making now. Wait for it.
The very exciting news about that is that this game is tied. You each have 1 point, which means the lightning round is of crucial importance.
Doesn't the percentage factor in it all? Aren't I ahead by 26%?
If it were a tie after the lightning round, yes, that's
All right.
when we would count the percentage.
Okay.
The lightning round works like this. Before the show, both Kevin and Hank were kind enough to give me lists of very short true and false things about themselves. I've randomly selected some of them and written them on a lovely card. I've actually typed them. They're nicely easy to read. So Kevin is going to go first, and he is going to read these 5 sentences to Hank. And like lightning, Hank is going to decide instantly and tell us true or false after each one. I'll write down Hank's answers, and then we'll go through them and find out how many he got right. And whoever's ahead in the score after Hank's done his lightning round too will win 5 chances at $144 million. So Kevin, here's your lightning round. I've got the answers right here.
I shouldn't be able to see that.
No, you shouldn't look at this.
All right, well, my goodness. Run the game worse.
Please, after he tells you the sentence, like lightning, I want to hear a true or a false, and then you'll move on to the next.
I didn't know. I really didn't.
He didn't
Okay, I
look.
didn't see that. Okay.
Ready?
Yes, please.
Is there a timer involved?
No, it's just like lightning.
All right.
Much like lightning, there's no actual clock on.
In high school, I was voted best dressed.
True.
My last speeding ticket was over 15 years ago.
True.
I was born on my father's birthday.
False.
I've been to China.
Oh, God. False.
Since childhood, I hated and had adamantly refused to eat corn on the cob my entire life until 2 years ago, and now I agree it's nature's candy.
I have to say true to that because if I'm wrong, congratulations on making that up.
All right, Kevin, let's review and see how many Hank got right. You said in high school I was voted best dressed. He said that was true.
Class clown.
No, not true at all.
We could have both been voted.
I know.
we could both
He said his last speeding ticket was over 15 years ago. You said it was true, and that is indeed true. You're a very careful driver, apparently. That's 1 point for you, Hank. He said he was born on his father's birthday.
See, that sounded like it was true. I should have said true to that.
Yeah, you should have said true because it was true.
Yeah.
He said that he's been to China. You said that was a lie. Kevin, been to China?
No.
No, you were right with that one. You've got 2 right, Hank. And the last one about the corn, yes, it was so eloquently composed, it kind of had to be true. And it is indeed
I thought
true.
that would make it seem false. I've gone on with too much detail.
On the double reverse, I actually
double reverse.
But it was, but nature's candy. It's true. I've always loved it and looked at it as nature's candy. So that's 3 points
Jamie's
for Hank. 3 points for Hank in the lightning round. And now, no looking at the answer key, Kevin. And like lightning, please answer Hank's statements.
All right, Kevin. I have a cousin named Bunny.
True.
I love the movie Roadhouse.
True. Did you underline the word love?
I have never flopped 4 of a kind. Never flopped quads.
True.
I've seen Elvis Costello in concert 20 times.
False.
I have never golfed.
True.
Isn't that fair? He knows too many of these things.
Let's see how close it is.
these questions?
Let's see how close it is.
I
Because
want a rematch.
he does indeed have a cousin named Bunny, so that's 1 point.
I did
he
not know
does-
that.
That one he didn't know.
He does indeed love the movie Roadhouse.
That one he knows.
Everyone knows. Why would you put that down?
I told you when I gave you the question that I knew Matthew knew that.
I know, that's why I didn't. Give it
You
to
ruined the whole game.
I knew I was going to take an enormous amount of shit. You said it was true that he's never flopped 4 of a kind.
Which I
but-
couldn't believe, which made it had to have been true.
No,
No,
he
I've
has.
flopped 4 of a kind 2 or
has.
3 times in my life.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed too obvious that, of course, you has. I thought it was a double reverse. Again.
All right, so he's still leading by 1 going into this one. Elvis Costello 20 times. No, it's more like 18, right?
Yeah,
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought was the number I thought. I bet it's 18.
10 times or something.
All right, so you need this one to win. He said he never golfed, and it is true. He has never golfed. Kevin Pollak, ladies and gentlemen.
A hollow victory at best.
But,
And if you missed it, I shit myself at 4.
Kevin, 5 chances at $144 million. Hank, consolation prize, 1 chance at $144 million.
That's it? That's the whole game? We're done?
But the good news is you're going to have a chance to redeem yourself against Matthew Perry. If you are watching on theroomlive.com, we're going to shut down for a few minutes, and then we're going to come back with another game that's going to be really, really fun. We'll find out if Matthew ever shit himself. A couple of things. Please follow us on Twitter. It's at Celeb Liar, and you'll find out who's going to be on our upcoming shows and when they're going to be, because you never know when they're going to be. And thanks very much for watching and playing along and chatting with Louise. And thank you, Louise.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Robin Roseanne and Michael Davis and Matt Edwards and everybody else at theroomlive.com. And if this is the first time you're coming to theroomlive.com, come back, because they got a lot of great stuff here. There's music, there's comedy, there's cooking, there's authors, and there's this. There's Celebrity Liar. Thanks very much for coming and playing along. Really appreciate it.